Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast, and more namely Villa AM, your bite-sized roundup of yesterday's news just in time for breakfast. And I think it's fair to say that yesterday, the 14th of August, was absolutely chock-a-block with transfer conjecture, transfer confirmation, transfer speculation, transfer stipulations. All those Asians were trotted out all over the social media sphere yesterday, and it was rat-a-tat-tat, to be honest with you. The opinions were flying, and to be honest with you, I had a little bit of a moan on Twitter as well, which I discussed in more detail on our match preview, which I did with Jay White, which is also available to be listened to on all podcast platforms and on YouTube as well. But let's start with some of the transfer stuff from yesterday, the 14th of August. And I suppose realistically, let's go to the big ticket item, which is Jacob Ramsey, pictured on tarmac after flying in a private jet, getting into a car, and he is on his way to Newcastle United. Medical looks like it's been booked, and it looks like he's going to be signing a deal that will net Aston Villa £39 million with £4 million in add-ons, and brings to end a short but also what feels like a lengthy saga, where not only was the discussion around the player leaving and where does that leave Aston Villa from a player number point of view and a talent point of view as well, but also then it came and it broke, and it was alluded to by numerous people, but more so overtly by Tom Colomasi from the Daily Mail. I think he's with the Daily Mail, and he said that Aston Villa would not be able to use the Jacob Ramsey money to replenish players. And I'll be honest with you, that kind of got me a small bit deflated, and I had a bit of a moan on Twitter. But thankfully, I think that I always thought that the players would come in, but having to satisfy that SCR is something that we just have to do. We have to suck it up. We agreed to the sanctions, to the rules that UEFA laid down earlier on this year when they did sanction us with regards to our spending. It's just something we got to do. We might as well get our house in order, because if we don't get our house in order, as I say, much now as I don't agree with calculations and stuff like that for SCR, we have to abide by them now, and there's no point looking back at that and feeling sorry for yourself. Any talking needs to be done in the field going forward, and I think Aston Villa will do that, and also hopefully over the coming days we'll do some talking in the boardroom so that they can get replacements in for the likes of Jacob Ramsey as well, and strengthen that forward line. Because another person that's going to be leaving the club, it seems, is Leon Bailey as well. So getting hit on the left, getting hit on the right, and Leon Bailey is apparently, the subject of a tug of war between Roma and Besiktas. And while we're not going to go down the road of trying to speculate whether it's a loan or a loan with an obligation to buy or whatever type of a transfer it is, Leon Bailey is garnering interest. And it has been kind of mentioned that he has said yes to Roma, and Roma seems to be his preferred destination. I think Italian football would suit somebody like Leon Bailey. Playing for a good manager in Gasperini, I think there's an awful lot to be said for going to play with Roma. Roma also looking to strengthen the other side with Jadon Sancho, but he's not an Aston Villa player, so we won't discuss him too much. But yes, if Leon Bailey does leave, and if he has agreed terms with Roma, all short of Besiktas completely and utterly gazumping Roma, I think that Leon Bailey will end up in the Eternal City, and we'll be talking out in that lovely kind of burnt amber colored jersey with the famous wolf on the front of it as well. So Leon Bailey looks like he is going to be leaving too, and that leaves us with two people out. But obviously over the last couple of days we've spoken about Asensio. That deal looks like it's got high potential that it will be done, but also we were linked with somebody else today, or well, it was actually the day previous, but I had the Villa AM had already gone live. And that is Leandro Trossard. Looks like has been linked to Aston Villa. Now, I have to say, the people who've linked Leandro Trossard to Aston Villa have been lower tier from a point of view of reputability. So we have to take that with a pinch of salt. But Leandro Trossard will be a great signing to come in and play on that left hand side and be pretty much somebody who could play all across that front line as well, and give us that immense amount of flexibility that I think Unai Emery wants to have in those front four positions. But if Leandro Trossard is somebody that wants to leave Arsenal, obviously Arsenal have brought in Madueke, and they've brought in Gyökeres, and they've brought in a couple of other players to come in and play in those forward positions. Maybe Leandro Trossard is saying, well, I need to move. I need to stay fresh and stay and to stay, ticking over, I suppose, and play as many games as I possibly can with the international competitions coming up. And what better than for him to come and join his compatriots at Aston Villa in the form of Yuri Tielemans and Amadou Onana as well. So more to come, I think, on the Leandro Trossard piece. It'll either be confirmed or it'll be denied. And one way or another, we will, if he does end up signing for Aston Villa or the links get clearer, we will talk more long form about Leandro Trossard, because he's a player that I think we all can agree is an exceptionally talented player, and probably the only knock that you would have on him is the fact that he's 31 years of age. But yes, more to come on him as well from a discussion point of view. Another bit of transfer news that was dismissed out of hand by Unai Emery was that Valencia were looking to sign Emi Buendia, but because of Emi Buendia's sparkling form since he's come back to the club and since he's been involved in pre-season, it seems that Unai Emery has rebuffed that. And I think that gives you a clear indication that Emi Buendia could be somebody that is staying around this year, and I think that's pretty much locked in now at this stage. That the last two sales of Bailey and Ramsey, maybe potential for the sale of somebody or letting somebody go like Dendoncker, as you mentioned yesterday, will then fund any of the incomings that we have. And David Ornstein actually had it squirreled away in a paragraph in his piece on Jacob Ramsey. Well, it was an Ornstein and Tanswell piece added on Jacob Ramsey, that Aston Villa were looking to sign a midfielder, a winger, and a defender who can play in two different positions. So yes, I think that if you get those three players in, it will be eaten bread will be soon forgotten with the Jacob Ramsey and Leon Bailey transfers, and Aston Villa will be looking forward again. And I think that they will do some business between now and the end of the transfer window. So that is your roundup for Thursday of news on Thursday, the 14th of August. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. And please like, subscribe, anything that you can think of there to help out this podcast as well. And drop a line emoji, as always, in the comments, just to let us know that you're here. But thank you so much for your time. We'll be back again tomorrow with Villa AM. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy. And all that's left to say is up the Villa!